Step into a traditional Ghanaian market, and you will hear a familiar rhythm. Vendors and buyers are actively negotiating the price of almost every single item, from cooking oil to fresh vegetables. Watch closely, and you will notice something important about this back and forth. Both people are usually smiling. They are trading a highly valued good, like a length of rich kente cloth. But the process is friendly. It is about building a relationship. Yet, take that exact same confident market shopper, place them outside their manager's office to ask for a salary increase, and they often freeze. The confidence vanishes, replaced by a deep sense of dread. We feel this dread because we have been taught a false version of what negotiation actually is. We treat it as an aggressive confrontation, a battle over a pile of money, where one person walks away the winner and the other is defeated. Nobody wants to be seen as difficult or greedy. Professional negotiators actually approach the table with the same mindset as that market shopper. They are simply gathering information. It is two people working together to find out what each side truly values, so they can find a path forward that works for everyone. When you strip away the heavy, formal intimidation of the corporate environment and treat your salary talk like a collaborative conversation, you clear the path to building significant, lifelong wealth. The actual conversation is just the final step. A successful request for more money is decided in the days and weeks prior, when you sit down and look up exactly what your role pays across your industry. You also need to find your limit, the absolute lowest offer you are willing to accept before you simply say, "No, thank you," and walk away. Having that line in the sand removes the fear of the unknown because you already know exactly when you will stop. Now imagine you are sitting across from your boss. You make your request, and they immediately lean back and say, "I'd love to, but our department budget is incredibly tight this quarter." The instinct here is to push back and talk about your own needs, how your rent went up, or how groceries cost more. But the company's budget does not account for your personal expenses. Instead, listen carefully to the stress your boss is facing. You can diffuse the tension by identifying the pressure they are under and naming it out loud. You might say, "It sounds like there is a lot of weight from leadership to keep department costs down right now." When someone feels seen and understood, their defensive walls naturally drop. When a manager hears that you actually understand the pressure they are under, they stop seeing you as an adversary. By putting their perspective first, you turn them into a partner who is now willing to brainstorm with you. At this point, avoid asking standard yes or no questions, like, "Can you make an exception?"
A simple no is the easiest way for someone to end a conversation they find uncomfortable. Instead, use questions that begin with how or what. These force the other person to actively engage and help you find a way around the roadblock. You might ask, "How do we align my compensation with the $50,000 in overhead I saved the department last year?" You are gently pushing them to figure out how to reward your specific proven results. Sometimes the cash really isn't there. The budget is locked, and the answer to a higher base salary is a genuine, unavoidable no. That is when you negotiate the whole package. If they cannot give you money, ask them for things that cost the company very little but hold high value for you. This could mean an extra week of paid vacation, a budget for a new professional certification, or the flexibility to work from home 2 days a week. You are no longer fighting over a single pile of money. You are expanding the options on the table, trading something they value less for something you value more. Pushing through the brief discomfort of asking for more is worth it because the financial reward is immediate and measurable. This chart shows two careers. The bottom line represents someone who accepts their starting salary as offered. The top line represents someone who secures just $5,000 more on day one. It looks like a small gap, but that extra money is a seed. If you take that extra $5,000 and put it into an investment account every single year, compound interest takes over. Over 40 years, that interest builds on itself, growing and multiplying even when you aren't working. That one 15-minute talk on your first day eventually creates a retirement fund worth over $1 million. You can apply this exact same approach to the money leaving your bank account. You can call your internet provider and ask what they can do to keep you as a customer, or call the hospital and ask for a detailed, itemized list of charges to lower your medical debt.
A single, polite conversation can cut your expenses and raise your income. Over time, those brief moments dictate the quality of your retirement. But negotiation is a muscle. If you only try to use it once every few years during a stressful performance review, it will feel weak and clumsy. You have to practice in everyday life. Ask your local shop owner if they have flexibility on a floor model's price. Practice listening and naming the emotions you hear when talking with your own family. And practice the hardest skill of all, silence. After you make your request, close your mouth and wait. Give the other person the space to process and respond. By gathering data, listening to the person across from you, and asking the right questions, you stop accepting whatever the world decides to hand you. You take control and become the active builder of your own financial future.